And we're live.
And we're live. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
No, you've frozen. Your camera's frozen.
No, it's not. I'm fine.
It's frozen on my OBS. Oh, no, you're back.
Oh, God damn it. Okay, let's start out. Clean slate. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Virtualy Rek't podcast with your hosts, PowerOnVR, that is me, and the man, the magnificent, Mac In VR. Mac, how are you doing?
I am really well. It's really good to see you, mate. We had a really good Pop 1 session during the week with Surgical. That was that was a really good day. So, more importantly, what are you drinking?
Tonight, unlike last time, I'm actually drinking.
Yes!
So I am on the double of the Brewdog Indian Pale Ale, nice and simple, followed by something lovely, a Shelby.
Oh, right.
From the show, from the Peaky Blinders.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
I thought that'd be quite nice. What are you drinking?
I've gone all Mediterranean. I've got a Venus Sol. It's very dry Spanish wine. I don't usually drink Spanish wine. It's very nice, actually.
I don't drink any wine. I tried to drink wine once, and I regretted every second of it.
I drink a lot of wine, and I often wake up in the morning and feel that I've regretted every moment of my existence.
Oh, yeah, but I didn't even finish the first glass. I was just like, ugh.
Oh, dear. Excuse me. I'm just going to move a couple of things around. Just give me a second.
No worries. Let's have a look at chat, see who is there.
We've got Clueless. Clueless is here.
Hello, Mr. Clueless. How's it going? And we have the Mr. Fun with the Clicks as well.
Hey!
Evening, my guy. We were meant to jump on, me and Mr. Clicks, for some Demio today, but unfortunately, all shit broke loose this afternoon, so that's being put off till tomorrow.
That's what happens when you got kids. I haven't got Demio. I've never played it.
I mean, I'm super into D&D, so Demio is 100% on the list for me, and I'm surprised it's taken me this long to buy it, but it was cheap from a less than reputable website, so I decided that it was time to buy it.
Yeah, I think it was in the sale, wasn't it? And it was up, I think, just after Christmas. It was £10, and I didn't buy it, and I feel like a right bellend because apparently it's supposed to be very, very good, even if you're not into D&D.
They keep releasing stuff for it, like, all the time. Free updates, free campaigns.
Yeah.
And I'm all about that life with developers.
Yeah. Oh, God, it's not as if I've got enough time to play games as it is.
Oh, yeah. Except for this one, you definitely need people to play with, obviously.
You do,
I don't think that's a game you particularly want to play on your own.
See, I'm being all posh here. I'm actually aerating my white wine.
Oh, what the fuck is that little spout?
I call it the gurgulator. It basically aerates your wine as you're drinking it.
You posh pillock. Anyway.
Oh, that is so far from the truth.
Only posh when it comes to wine.
Yes.
But are you posh when it comes to VR is the question.
Well, I like to think I am.
In which case, would you like to start us off with the subject?
I would like to talk about Tentacular.
I would also like to talk about Tentacular.
Good. I was given early access by the devs. So I actually managed to get my game review out when the game actually released, which is quite new for me because usually I like to. If not finish a game, put a lot of time into it before I make my decision. Because obviously... Weeble's here. Hey, Weeble.
Hey, Weebs.
Obviously, I don't want somebody to buy a game that I've said, oh, this is brilliant, but I've only played like an hour. Because it's easy to make a game good for an hour. I can't remember the name of the game that jumps to mind there, but it did, because it didn't jump to mind. It jumped straight over my mind and into the dementia bit of my brain. Yeah, so I was quite lucky that I actually had the game for about a week before I did my review. Managed to get a good 8 to 10 hours in. and I wasn't even halfway through the game when I did the review. It's just joyous, and it's like nothing you've ever played before.
I want to slightly disagree with one of your statements, and it is not that the game is great, because honestly, I think it genuinely is. Right, I also managed to get it before the release, but only 24 hours, and hence why there wasn't a full review. It was a first impressions video because I wanted it out as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Now, when you say it's easy to make a game great for an hour, I don't disagree with that. I think that is right on the money. And there are way too many games that try to do that. Like, they try to suck you in with that first hour, maybe even 2 hours, and then they just cannot be fucked after that.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. The mechanics of Tentacular are so fun, are so well done, that I just couldn't see me... Like, I've only played about 4 hours of it, maybe 5 hours so far.
Yeah.
I cannot see me getting bored of that at all, because it feels like you have freaking tentacles. Like, what more do you want?
I just love the fact that it's got like an Animal Crossing vibe to it, because it's just cute. And the little characters talking nonsense, and it's just funny. I had to build a rocket out of a container, and then I had these magnets, and I had to attach the rockets at certain angles, and then because basically you had to get it to spin to fly properly.
Yep.
And I tried for an hour to get this thing to spin, and I couldn't do it. So in the end, I just attached hundreds of rockets to this thing, and when I fired it up, it just went straight up in the air, and I was like, yes, I've done it. But it's like that sandbox craziness that you get. I mean, I don't even know what's coming next in the game. I unlocked these, like the magnets you get to attach things to things. They kind of move around a little bit, but just before I finished and made the video, I unlocked these magnets that were really solid, and I was thinking, well, that's probably why I couldn't do one of the side missions, because I couldn't get my platform steady enough. So yeah, I'm going to go back and play that level again. So you see what I mean? It just puts a big stupid grin on your face.
The moment I loaded up that game and I saw the tentacles, I was happy. The fact that they were floppy made me very happy. And then I slapped them together and rubbed them together, and it made this sort of squish, squish, squish noise. Yeah. And I was so in love with the game from that moment on.
I think the first thing I did was I picked up... You sort of start the game in front of that lighthouse. I picked the little girl up with my tentacle and flung her in the air. And she was like, ah! And then, boop! She reappears on a little parachute and lands back down in front of you. And I was just like, oh, man, I love this game already. Yeah,
I was just spending so much time torturing the people. Like, I'd pick them up and put them in random places and just be like, no, you're not a crossing guard anymore. You're now a captain, and put him in a little boat and leave him there. And then, like, the Elon Musk character, who I really didn't like, the dystopian bastard that he was, I would just sort of pick him up and put him into the sea and then just push him along a little bit just to make sure that he stayed away from the island.
I tried to get the sharks to eat him, but they wouldn't.
It's very kid friendly. It's incredibly kid friendly, and yet somehow it keeps all of your attention on it as an adult, and that's a good game, man.
It is. I'm just going to answer fun with clicks. So what I did was I had the container, and then you got to attach the rockets at an angle, and then there's two that are here that are straight. But if you notice, there's little rockets. So I put 4 little rockets underneath as well, and that made it spin and go straight up. That's actually at the beginning of the video, my review, if you watch that. So, Tentacular, absolutely brilliant game. I bet it's tanked.
I completely agree with you, and that is ridiculous. One of the things I said about it, where did I say about it? I can't remember. I think it was in my description of the game for YouTube, in my first impressions. I specifically said, I had an absolute blast with this game, and there wasn't a single gun in sight.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that is the problem, isn't it? because everybody wants the guns, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, because VR lends itself very well to that.
It does, yeah, absolutely. The problem with Tentacular, and it's bizarre. The problem with Tentacular is there's nothing else like it. I said in my review, I'm a gamer. I've been a gamer for over 40 years. I've never played a game like that. The closest thing that came to it was another real indie game from about 2 years ago called Stack Squatch, where you basically had to build towers to a certain height, and all you had was like a cow, a pig, an orange, a shipping container, and it was weird. It was a game of, it was like all about balance, but that's the closest. So yeah, I mean,
there was a game from way back when, I'm talking like PS1, PS2 era, called Katamari. I don't know if you ever played that.
Yeah, we had to roll the big ball.
Yep, yeah. This gives me really big feels of Katamari. And it's not just like a word association thing where I'm thinking Katamari and what's fried octopus?
Calamari.
Calamari. It's not like a word association type thing. It is like the game feels very Japanese.
Yes.
And I think that's why it's giving me those feels. Like everything's very basic, it's very, very fun, and it's very tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
And it hits all the right buttons for me. For something fun, like nothing serious, just fun.
Yeah, and it is, and as well, you can go back. There's like a little joystick that you can pull, and you can go back, and there's like a rack, and it has all the cassettes of every level, and you put the cassette into the game machine, and you can go back and play the level. So, obviously, as you get upgraded, you'll be able to go back and try the levels a different way. So, I put my review out on Thursday at 1 o'clock. I tweeted, I did Facebook, on the Mac In VR Facebook page. Obviously put it on YouTube. The developers retweeted my tweet. They sent me a message saying, thank you, we really enjoyed watching your video. They sent me an email, saying thanks from the devs. It's absolutely brilliant what you did. Thank you very much. That's less than 400 views on that video. There's no interest in it.
Yeah, the thing is what you've got to bear in mind is that the type of subscribers that you have, that is not their kind of game for the most part, I would wager.
Yeah, I'm guessing. Yeah. It's funny enough. I was actually talking to one of my subs when I was playing Pop 1 this morning. And he was like, "Oh, I love all your stuff. I love all your tech reviews and all that sort of stuff." And I'm kind of thinking, yeah, I'm more known for that than I am for reviewing games. So, but I had 4 days, 4 days, and I really enjoyed myself. So I'm just really annoyed that the video tanked and the game probably isn't selling as well as it should. And one thing I would like to say as well is it looks just as good on Quest 2 as it does on PC VR.
See, I haven't tried it on Quest 2. That is something that I should probably should probably have tried.
It's not quite as sharp, but it looks identical. Identical.
Very good.
Fuck.
Very
that was
good. He got there. I like it. I like it a lot.
You see that tumbleweed?
No. I'm a big fan of that kind of humour, man. I do love a little bit of punishing humour. Gonna giggle to myself.
I know. Sorry. Word with Click said it's a Commodore 64. We can go back to the levels. Oh, I didn't notice. Oh, that's really clever.
Yeah. See, this is something that. Speaking of what you were just saying, actually, about and something that Fun with the Clicks has just mentioned. You want, like, whether you want to be known for something is irrelevant to what your channel becomes. And Fun with the Clicks was mentioning the other day that he wants to be known, and same as he's just put in the chat, he would like to be known for game reviews.
Yeah. Yeah.
The problem is that his sort of claim to fame with his channel is all about A Township Tale. He became a Township Tale guy.
Yeah.
And obviously, as many of us YouTubers do, when you put out a video and it's the first video that puts out, say, 1,000, 2,000, or 5,000 views, you're like, oh, I've caught on to something here. I need to follow this trend. And so you put out another one.
Yeah.
And that one maybe doesn't do quite as well. But let's say that your first one did 2,000, this one did 1,000. Your average viewer is like 200. That's still a massive jump up. So
it is, yeah.
You then make more and more videos around that. And I think from looking back at Fun with the Clicks sort of library of videos, it does appear that over the course of time, that was kind of thing. If I'm wrong, Clickster, then please shoot me down. But that is how it seems. And I don't blame you at all, because that is what the YouTube early channel life is all about. You don't necessarily get to pick what you do. And if you do, you may be missing out on things that could be phenomenal. For instance, your Township Tale stuff, which I've watched, and it's good content, man. Like, no one else was putting out content like that to do with the Township Tale.
Yeah. You've got a little bit of feedback on your mic, mate, like a little bit of crispiness.
I reckon that's probably it's mainly because of where I am, mate.
Oh, okay,
unfortunately.
No, that's okay. It's not. It's just like a little bit of a click at the end. Yeah. So I mean, like Fun with the Click says, he wants to be known for game reviews, but people mostly known for Township Tale. He's actually put that in the chat. Henry's here as well. Say hello to Henry. Hi, Henry. How you doing,
Hey,
mate?
Henry. Hey, Resol.
Hey, Resol's here as well. Yeah. So I mean, basically, what happened to me was my first 100,000 view video was Virtual Desktop, and I thought, and I think I've done four setup videos on Virtual Desktop. There's been a lot of other Virtual Desktop stuff like Airlink and all that sort of stuff, but those 4 videos probably contribute half to my million views that I've got. I've gone over 1 million now, but you know, my channel a couple of weeks ago hit 1 million views, and I'm guessing 500,000 500,000 of those views are those 4 Virtual Desktop videos, which I don't mind. You know, I use Virtual Desktop every day. I don't mind making videos about it because I am an evangelist. You know, I think Guy Godin is an incredible person. What he's doing is amazing. And long may it continue. I mean, now that I've got my Quest back, fucking Facebook, I'm back on Virtual Desktop now, and I was using my Index a lot when I was banned, and I just get frustrated with. I mean, I've got a Kiwi Design cable management system, the best you can get. I was still getting annoyed with the cable, so yeah, we kind of slid off topic a little bit there, didn't we?
No. Reeby points out something very useful, actually. Lots of YouTubers do reviews and they all go on YouTube the same day, correct? We easily remember YouTuber for their particular videos. And that's exactly the thing. Like, if I was the only person reviewing, just pointing it out there and sort of throwing it, you know, into the wind, like Mental VR, for instance, my video that came out 2 days ago, I am one of the only YouTubers that is putting out content on that game.
Right. I'd never heard of it. Yeah.
No, exactly. And I'm going to go over that in a bit, actually. I'm going to describe it to you and you're going to shoot it down and be very unhappy about it. But it's an interesting game. But yeah, from what I can see, there are very few people putting out any mental content other than on TikTok. And honestly, the TikTok content is relatively... It's a bit lackluster as far as the views are concerned, which is why I haven't put much effort into it.
Yeah.
But that game, the video I put out, it wasn't my best work, but it was a quick bit of work that I wanted to put out there for the weekend because I'd had, honestly, a really shitty week.
I'm gonna apologise to you here, hand on heart. I thought that link you put on Discord, I thought that was just a thumbnail, and you were like putting the thumbnail out there. I actually haven't watched it. I'm really sorry.
No. I put the thumbnail there just because it was me with a lollipop in my mouth. But there is a link in a different part of the Discord.
I was strangely aroused by the very attractive young lady's body, but with the mustache and the lollipop. Yeah, that was a bit. Yeah, Rizal. Yeah, mate, my FB account got sorted out. Clueless Dad Gamer, literally only use wireless VR. Yeah. Hey, Bree. HB's here. Hey, dude. How you doing? Well, what was I going to say? Oh, I had a really interesting point. What were we talking about there?
We were talking about particular videos
just
for YouTube
prior
channels.
just prior to you talking about mental.
Yeah, we were talking about having your YouTube channel is...
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got it. Got it.
So what happened was, on my Discord, I had a guy called J Man Curly dropped in on the virtual desktop. Need virtual desktop help part of my Discord channel. And he was like, "Oh, dude, I'm having a problem with virtual desktop." So he was like, "All right, okay, blah blah blah." Sorted him out. And then I looked at his channel, right? And he'd gone from no subscribers to 40,000 subscribers in 3 months, right? Because he was playing Gorilla Tag. And all of the videos he put on his channel were of Gorilla Tag. Now, it might have been the fact that he was a young lad, nice looking, long hair, funny. But all of his videos were Gorilla Tag. And that 3 months, he'd gone from nothing to 40,000 subscribers. So if we're talking about somebody being recognized for a certain thing, I was thinking, I was pleased that he'd had so much success, but I'm thinking there's going to be a transition where the Gorilla Tag videos aren't going to be making the views because, people move on and things change.
Nope. Gorilla Tag is forever.
Exactly.
Apparently.
Yeah, but there's going to be a point in maybe a year or two's time. I mean, he could be on 150, 200,000 subscribers by then, but where he's going to have to make a transition. Yeah.
No, because Gorilla Tag 2 will come out, mate.
More gorillas.
Become monkey again.
Yeah.
That's...
Oh my God, that's a quote from a long time ago.
The thing is, Gorilla Tag is a great game for one reason, right? And it is a great game because it's free. It's not a great game if it was $10. It's not a great game if it was $5. It's a great game because it was free.
Yeah.
And that has built such a huge community and so many kids that got their hands on a Quest 2, not this Christmas, but the Christmas before.
Yeah.
And then suddenly Gorilla Tag comes out and there's this huge social game that isn't constrained by things like Rec Room or things like VR chat to an extent, right? Yeah. They can go on there, they can say what they like, and this is why it's a good game, and it has built around this community of kids, essentially, but that means that you also have a huge amount of toxicity.
Yeah. From Clicks, who just said there, J-Man Curly's on 200,000 subs.
Yep.
Well done, dude. Congratulations.
Doesn't matter. The thing is, right, is that I may be wrong in this, right, but he just needs to find the next game of Gorilla Tag. He does, absolutely. At 200k, you can just move on to another game as long as it's got the community there. And you can find the right side of humor for it. You are golden.
Yeah. It's interesting, actually, because one of my favourite YouTubers is Sadly It's Bradley, who actually turned up in the chat one day when we were doing the podcast. Remember, because I nearly had a heart attack.
Oh, Mac, you say this every episode now. It's become like a running thing.
I'm famous by association right now. So, so it was interesting because Brad's just hit 100,000 subscribers. And so congratulations to him. If you're not subscribed, the stuff he does is amazing, but it's like real hardcore geeky VR stuff, which sings to my heart. Plus he's a nice guy as well. Right. So yeah, what happened was he started his channel and he was doing game reviews and, all that sort of normal VR stuff. And then he had some issues in his life, so he stopped. And then he came back and he stopped doing YouTube. And he came back and started doing this tech stuff, this like deep dive into patents. And his channel stalled. And it took a long time for it to start to grow again because he basically changed completely the balance of what he was doing on his channel. But I mean, it worked for him. I'm pleased for him. And he's obviously on the rise again now. So if you're not subscribed to Sadly It's Bradley, go and subscribe. He does some really, really interesting stuff.
Rezol is right. If you do decide to change things up, then it can end up splitting your audience.
Yeah.
And when neither me or Mac are at 50k, we're not at 100k, we're not at 1 million subs. But I think it's fairly obvious to you, Mac, in that it is to me. When you're at our level, at least, you do want to keep your subs.
Yeah.
But most of your subscribers have subscribed to you because of one video.
Yes, absolutely.
They're not subscribing for 10 videos. They're not subscribing for 100. They're subscribing because they liked one video, which means they're not ingrained in your channel. No. So unless you're alienating your key audience, and that could be as small as 50 people, and trust me, 50 people can make a huge, huge difference.
Yeah, I mean,
everything you do.
I could name 50 people, and some of them are here today. Clueless, Weebs, Fun with Clicks, Henry, HB. You know, they're like the people who turn up every week. And I've obviously played with, I think I've played with most of them, played maybe Pop 1 or something with most of them. So they're like people I actually know. And that's really important to me. I'd rather have 12,000 subs. I wish I had 12,000 subs. I'd rather have 11,000 subs and a great community of people than 100,000 subs where nobody gave a fuck. Do you know what I mean? Because you can see there are channels that have a lot of subscribers but no views on their videos. And you think, what's going on there? I mean, Surgical, quite a few months ago, was saying that there was a guy on Twitch who bought followers, but his videos weren't being watched. So he had like a lot of followers, but his video view count was like way down. And you do see it on YouTube. You see guys with like quite a few. I mean, I'm not talking about the Beardo Benjers, the Gamer Tags, the Steve Knows, the Mikes, the Nathys, the Thrill Seekers. I mean, they're like genuine, hard-working YouTubers. There's a few. I'm not going to mention any names. There's a few where you think you've got that many subscribers, and that video didn't even do 1,000 views. You know, even some of my worst videos, I get at least 10% of like my sub count will watch that video, apart from the Tentacular one. So maybe I'm a fraud as well.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh God, I've just called myself out.
See, I need this is the thing, right? Let's stick on this subject for just one or two more points, and then we'll move on.
Okay, so G-Trix.
I realised.
G-Trix, are you talking about me or are you talking about Shooey? Sorry.
So, yeah, no. Here's the thing, right? I realised way too late in the game that community was the biggest driver of a channel.
Yeah.
Right, and that sounds obvious to so many people, but to me, it didn't, because I've always been a fairly insular person.
Yeah. Well,
so
yeah,
I was just creating content. I wasn't trying to build a community. And it's only more recently, in the past sort of since I hit 1K, that I've actually started to develop this want of building a community. And I genuinely want to push forward with that.
Yeah. Well, this is why we've got This is why we've got you on Discord at last.
Yeah, no, this is the thing. I recently created I didn't recently. I created a Discord channel for PowerOnVR 7 months ago, and I have been so not lazy, purely scared of Discord, right? Because I watched all the videos, and they're like, people are going to come in, they're going to be trolls, and they're going to ruin all of your stuff.
Yeah. I was extremely lucky. Sorry, I'm actually going to frame this comment. G-Trix said, "I don't know Chewy, but he seems cool."
So, just right, to put it to bed, right? My name is Shooey, which is SHOOEY. However, I have plenty of friends with kids that call me Chewy because they can relate it to Chewbacca
and the beard, and you don't mind that.
No, I've got no problem with that whatsoever. That guy was a legend. He's one of the few people to live through everything.
I know. I want to be I want to be the Wookiee that's in the Book of Boba Fett, because he was
he's a badass, man.
Cool. He was so cool. When he walked in, I was just like,
knuckle dusters were insane.
Gadoosh! Oh no, he was cool.
G-Trix, you don't have to apologise, man. Loads of people get it wrong. It's not a problem. I am good either way. Han, if anything, right, that would make Mac my Han at the moment.
Hey, I don't mind that. I absolutely don't mind that. I don't mind being a bit of a rogue.
I feel like that makes Surgical and Henry can be R2 and C-3PO. They can argue amongst themselves which ones are which.
Does that make Face Princess Leia?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Right, so this is really weird, because everybody that loves Star Wars, I went to see it in 1977 when it released. And I was 10 years old. So that's how fucking old I am.
Yep, that was 20 years before I was even born, mate.
Yeah, well, before I retired, obviously I was at work. We had a couple of young girls on our watch, and Flock of Seagulls came on. I don't know if you remember that band from the 80s.
Nope.
Anyway, this band, the Flock of Seagulls, came on, and I was like, oh wow, Flock of Seagulls, that's 1982. And without even batting an eyelid, the young lass Amy says, that was 19 years before I was born. I just turned around to her and went, fuck off. She was 21 at the time, and I was like, nah. God, I feel like such an old fart.
Right, so let's get back onto some VR stuff then. Now that we've established, as we do every single episode, that Mac is old, and I am slightly less old than he is.
Right, are we going to talk about? Are we going to talk about After the Fall, or do you want to talk about GDC?
Tell you what, let's talk about After the Fall quickly, so that we've got a break-up, and then we'll go into GDC, because there's one particular thing from GDC that I am really excited about talking about, and there is at least one really important thing that I think you want to talk about. So, let's talk about After the Fall then.
Yes. Boulevard.
Yep, Boulevard, right? So I hadn't played After the Fall since probably January at this point. So I'd completely missed having the Revolver when that was released a month back, I think?
Yeah.
They released that. No, it must have been more than that, because they released that with the Horde mode, right?
They did, yeah. I don't think it was that long ago, actually. I think it might have only been a couple of weeks, because Surge did a video on it, and I think it was maybe 2 weeks ago. So they had a roadmap, and they released the Horde mode with the Revolver, and then they released the Boulevard map with the machine gun.
Yes. So we tried out. That was your first time trying out Boulevard, wasn't it? The night we streamed it last Thursday.
Yeah, that was good fun.
What did you think of the actual map, right? Ignoring everything else, what do you think of the actual map?
It's way too short.
Uh-huh.
And the final boss encounter has that same final boss, which I was kind of wishing there wouldn't be him. And you can basically put your back against the cinema screen and shoot out, which kind of, they
need to come down the walls either side of the cinema screen, don't they?
Yeah. There's no, again, it's a small area. There's no cover. It's the smallest boss fight, easily, like the space. So maybe that's why they've only got them coming at you from like the front. But I mean, we did it on Master, and I was playing on I was playing on my Index, so I had all the mostly I've played on my Quest, so all my good weapons are on my Quest. I had really crap weapons, and we breezed it.
Yep. And I haven't played that much overall. No. Like the game, I really enjoy, but I have not played anywhere near enough. Yeah. And I consequently have really shit weapons. Didn't have a problem. So yeah, on the whole, I agree. It's too short. It was a nice level design. Was a nice level design.
It was interesting. There's a choke point problem on Master difficulty and probably on Nightmare, where you're in the pipe and you're getting rushed by zombies, and there's only one place they can come, And even with 4 people shooting, they still get into the pipe because we had the eater.
The eater, yeah.
We were all shooting at the eater and it got into the pipe. And I think Face shot the eater just as we all died. So the eater died and we all rezzed. Do you remember? And that was like...
it was luck. It was pure luck.
Pure luck. It was pure luck. So, yeah, it's... I mean, I love After the Fall. I really do. I know a lot of people say, oh, it's boring and there's only 4 maps, 5 maps and blah, blah, blah. But I quite enjoyed the Horde mode. You know, we got up to level... We defeated level 29 and got up to level 30 playing Horde mode. And I was playing on my shit character on the index. So, you know, I think if you get to level 30, I think you get the military floppy.
We were so close.
We were so close. But it's like if one person goes down. Oh, Rezo,
you
man.
absolute legend.
Thank you, mate.
Thank you very much, my dude. That's so fucking awesome of you.
Cheers, mate. Go.
You are officially. I'm not saying you have to purchase your way in, but 100%, mate. You are officially part of the Rekin Krew, brother. Welcome. Stay with us. I know you said you've got to take off, but yeah, catch the rest of it later, man.
Cheers, pal.
Enjoy your night.
Yeah, I do like After the Fall, and it kind of, I mean, I would play Horde mode and like play through the whole game every single day if I could get people to do it, because I love that kind of game.
Oh yeah, no, I'm actually interested in playing a lot more Horde mode.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm one of these obsessives, and I've got to the point now on my Quest game where nearly everything I get is a duplicate. It's so
you say
annoying.
that, mine aren't. Mine shouldn't be, and yet somehow I got fucking 3 duplicates the other night.
Oh, god damn it.
Yeah, no, that was gutting.
Right, Igor Antipov. Igor, we have another Russian.
Amtbet
Yeah, exactly.
I sorry, dude. I do not. I can't do it. HB, translate, please.
Atom 12 says same for me. Max saw it in 77. There you go. Still kicking it in VR.
Okay, so yeah, I think what we need to do is we need to start putting out some shouts for people to join us from the Rekin Krew for some After the Fall. I'm going to be doing so in the next over the next 2 weeks or so.
Because you've got some holidays, haven't you? So
I do indeed. So yeah, if obviously Mac will be putting out in his Discord for looking for group stuff. Obviously,
I'm retired.
If you guys,
I can play anytime.
Yeah, he can play anytime, so that's great for him. If you guys want to see my shout-outs for looking for group for anything, then obviously join my Discord as well. But other than that, do we want to talk about... Is there anything more you want to talk about after the format, or would you like to jump
more
on
content.
to...
That's all it needs, more content. I mean, I think in about a year's time, After the Fall is going to be a fucking awesome game, because it's going to have about 10 to 15 levels. It's going to have 3 or 4 Horde mode maps. I'm not bothered about the PvP. I've never been bothered about PvP.
No, couldn't give a shit about it.
No, I couldn't give a shit about it. It's whatever. More weapons, more skins. I like the fact that you can earn like kills towards unlocking skins.
Oh yeah, no, I'm a big fan of that actually. Once when I'd seen that you were wearing that like gimp suit from what was that film? I can't even remember. It's not Reservoir Dogs. It is the more famous one.
Oh,
that's really going to piss me off. Yeah, that's really going to piss me off.
Someone
Willis. Put it in the chat.
Yeah.
Someone put it in the chat. Samuel L. Jackson, everybody. Anyway.
Zed's dead, baby. Yes. Zed's dead.
Once I saw you wearing that, I was very happy because the 4 original skins, although they were well done, there is only 4, and I did want more. So, yeah, big props to them for actually bringing out that Pulp Fiction. That was the one. Thank you, Clueless.
Right, so just quickly, very, very quickly. My headset updated to the version 38 software this week. Yes. And now when I turn it on, I've got a Meta logo. How do you feel about that? Yep.
So, here's the thing, right? Here is the thing. I have a positive note for this.
Okay.
My positive note is that what is the one thing that you don't necessarily want on the Quest 2 headset as far as visuals are concerned?
Facebook?
My...
That's just me talking.
Yes.
I'll get banned again.
Right. He's going to get banned again. Okay, my answer to that, it might be simplistic, but the Quest 2 has always had a problem with God rays. It's only
Oh,
slight.
yes. Yeah. Oh,
But the
wow.
fact that you have white on a black background did make it so that every time I loaded up that headset, I saw that glorious Oculus logo, but it did blur out at me, and it made me uncomfortable to the point where I would either close my eyes or put my head up. And do you know what? Every time I've reset my headset since, now that the Meta logo is there, I don't have that. So that is my positive take on the Meta logo.
Excellent. That's a good point. Oculus was such a great brand. Everybody knew what an Oculus Quest 2 was. Why?
I tell you what, right? I agree with you to the point where if you look back at my early stuff for my channel, my early branding was actually designed around the O in the O in on actually being the Oculus logo.
All right, okay, that's good, yeah.
Made into an on button, right? Because I was like, yeah, I'm going to do mostly Quest stuff because I have Quest.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. And in fact, if you look at my current logo
Which
for
I am
my channel,
at, yes,
there is an Oculus logo in pink on my chest.
Oh, so there is with your sunglasses.
Yep.
Oh, right, okay.
Yep.
Yep. Oh. Do you know, I'd never noticed that.
Yep, it's just a small thing that I wanted to be added in there for it. And that is something that I'm going to keep there now. I'm not obviously going to change it to a pink fucking Meta logo because absolutely fuck that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, fair enough. We're with the other, 3-4 million, probably more than that, 11 million other people with headsets that have got the original Oculus ones on. But if you keep yours working, ladies and gentlemen, you keep them in good nick, they're going to be a collector's item one day.
They certainly are. They certainly are.
Because they are the turning point. This headset, this piece of hardware, this is the NES. This is the Sega Mega Drive of VR headsets, right? It wasn't the first one, right? It wasn't the very first outing of VR, but this is what is turning the tide for VR towards the mainstream.
Yeah.
This is why this headset is going to be a big thing.
I would have said the Atari VCS, but then, of course, that's because I'm older than you. Yeah, I agree.
Yes.
I mean, I even actually, in the midst of GUI time, I actually did a video comparing the Quest, the original Quest that you're talking about, to the Atari VCS, and saying that the Quest will be seen as being as important as the Atari VCS in the future. So, I mean, I'm terrible for doing this. As soon as I upgrade, I sell everything. So I sold my Quest 2. I sold my Quest, to fund my Quest 2, and I'm actually regretting it now because I wish I still had it so I could put it on a display like I've got on my Index. I wish I could just put it on a display and display it because, yeah, great piece of kit. Amazing piece of kit, which is so amazing that the Quest 2 came out 9 months later and was so much better. It's just mind-blowing.
And cheaper.
And cheaper. Yeah,
by
I mean,
$400.
Fucking incredible. Right. Yeah. Our Rebe says, I'm still wondering how they call it the Oculus app. And you've still got the Oculus. If you have a PC, it's still called Oculus, and it still has the logo on Oculus.
Oh yeah, I still get to look at that glorious thing sitting on my my taskbar every single day.
Yeah. And I mean, my Oculus on my PC. If you're lucky enough to have a PC to run VR, my Oculus on PC is on version 38, and they haven't changed it to the Meta logo. Do you think they'd? Oh, they obviously don't give a shit about PC VR, do they? Do they? I mean, look what
they don't.
Look what they did to Lone Echo 2. Like, no advertising.
I was just about to say.
No advertising, right? Even right down to the day it was being released, you couldn't. It wasn't even available for like pre-order or, you know, or coming soon. It wasn't on until the day it released. And that's it's a tragic.
Not being able to pre-order it, I'm not that bothered about, because most of their stuff you can't pre-order anyway.
Yeah.
However, the fact that it wasn't advertised anywhere near as much as something such as Resident Evil 4, which, let's face it, was plastered over the entire fucking world. I'm pretty sure I saw it on the back of a bus.
Yeah, absolutely. But, I mean, as much as I loved Resident Evil 4, I played it on the original N64, and I enjoyed it. And then I played it on, I think, my Xbox, and then I played it on, you know what I mean? And it was like the 5th iteration that I'd actually bought the game. It's like bloody Skyrim. How many times have you bought Skyrim in your life?
Once, but that's because I pirated it every other time.
I was the idiot that bought it.
That's a lie, actually. I bought it twice.
Yeah.
I bought it once on the Nintendo Switch and once for VR.
Okay. Do you want to talk about Manus? I know you want to talk about Manus.
I want to talk about GDC first.
Okay.
I would love to talk about GDC.
Okay. What do you want to talk about with GDC?
God damn, that is a beautiful
what is
drink.
it? Is that the Shelby?
That's the Shelby. I do love an Indian Pale Ale, and this is beautiful. Anyway, so there are two halves to this with GDC. There is going to be games, and there is going to be hardware. Mac, you're more the hardware guy out of the two of us, I would say, just from the channel aesthetic of things.
Yeah.
Start us off with a bit of hardware.
Okay, so the thing I'm most interested in is the Lynx VR AR headset. And if I buy one, I'm going to buy the cool one where it's see-through and you can see all the gubbins inside.
You're going to buy it for $1,100.
No, I'm not. I can't afford it. I've just retired. I'm a pensioner. All right, so I'll rephrase that. If I was going to buy it, and you know that this is going to get chucked straight back at you when you want to talk about your bloody gloves, don't you? Right. Yeah, Cass and Cherry did a great video. I think they got flown out. I think it's in France. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong.
It is in Paris.
It is in Paris, right. So Cass and Cherry channel, but I think it was just Cass, flew out and she did a great video on the Lynx, and she was like proper blown away at how good it was. So if you don't know who they are, there's a YouTube channel called Cass and Cherry, and they do VR. Fantastic stuff, really, really professional stuff.
Sorry, just before we move on, right? I love their channel. I think it's great. I think they are great people. I love listening to their content.
Exactly what you're going to say.
I don't. Maybe, right? Am I the only one that thinks that their channel name is a pun, or is meant to be a pun?
Cass and Cherry. No,
Cash and Carry.
Oh no, I just thought it was because of their names.
Okay, it might be just I'm completely reading it, but every time I look at it, I read it as Cash and Carry. Like,
I was actually going to say I don't understand why the channel is called Cass and Cherry, because Cherry's not in it very much. But I suppose if you just called your channel Cass. Yeah, so they did a great video. She did a great video on the Lynx VR AR headset, and basically I'd seen it on Upload VR, and I was like, another headset, another Kickstarter.
Okay, so just before we carry on, Henry's asked what GDC is. I know what it is, but I don't know what GDC stands for.
Game Developer Conference.
Oh, he was right. You were straight on the ball, Henry. Well done.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. But like Cass's actual genuine reaction to color pass-through, because this is an AR headset as well as a VR headset, so you can play virtual reality games, but then you can also do that fantastic. I mean, AR is one of those things that I'm looking forward to so much. We talked about it on the podcast last time with going to an airsoft site and playing airsoft in AR, which will be an incredible experience. So, like, I'm very excited about that. They've had some problems with their supply chain, so it's been put back from April to sort of June, July to ship. And I'm guessing these are the guys who backed the Kickstarter, so not numpties like me who just went, ooh, I can't spend that much money. Yeah. So it'd be the guys and girls who backed the Kickstarter, and then obviously once those orders have been fulfilled, then it's like the likes of me and you who might be interested. 1,100 quid's a lot of money though.
That's for the development kit, and the developer kit does get you the really cool see-through shell, so that you can see all the units. But it also, yeah, I know, like it's like the N64 way back when you wanted the see-through controllers, right? They
oh,
the
you
see-through
did, yeah.
console.
So
it looks phenomenal.
So this is the thing. This is the thing that I think. So I mean, Xbox did this really well. They released the Elite controller. A couple of years ago, and it was like, oh, we're going to sell this controller for 120 quid. People were like, fuck off, 120 quid for a controller. And then you got one and you were like, oh, this is so good. It oozed quality. And like my wife is probably the greatest human being that's ever been born, because she knew that the new Halo just released. She knew that I didn't have an Xbox, so she got me an Elite controller version 2 and a subscription to Xbox Game Pass, which means you can now you can stream to anything. You can stream to your phone, you can stream to a tablet, you can play on PC. So even though I didn't have an Xbox, I could play Halo. So going back to the links being see-through, like I don't want the other one. I want that one. Right? Even if that was just like to show you how it worked, I want that one. Can you not sell that? Why aren't they doing that with the Quest? Why aren't they doing that?
The other thing with the see-through thing, it isn't just a see-through thing. It has lots of other things that it can do, and lots of things that you can pull apart, and it's a big thing, the Enterprise Edition.
Yeah, but I'm talking about me, who's a geek and wants shiny things. Why don't they
I would love it.
Why don't they do a see-through Quest 2? Slap a £50 excess on it, just for a laugh, and see whether it sells. It would sell a boatload.
Not even a see-through one. Why did they not do different cosmetics, like colours? They could have had like a neon one. They could have had one that was like a pink one and tried to sell to the female market, as ridiculous as that sounds.
Yeah.
It does happen all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it, if there was a neon pink headset, do you not think I would have purchased one already? Fuck yes, I would have.
Because it would match your pink Oculus logo.
Exactly. I would have been all over that shit. I have two very, very happily working Quest 2 sitting here, and I would have easily bought a third so that I could have a neon pink one.
Like, going back to my wife, she actually tried VR for the first time last night.
Wow.
Yeah, so me and my wife go to the gym together, so she's quite fit for an old bird. My routine in the morning is to get up, take the dog for a walk, and then I come into the man cave and I do 15 to 30 minutes of Les Mills body combat. If you're into your fitness, into your boxing, Les Mills body combat, fucking incredible. It's a great game, workout, but it is a game as well. It's like sort of Beat Saber, but you're kicking and punching at the same time. Anyway, so she tried an experience. She tried the 9/11 experience.
Yep.
She was absolutely blown away with. My wife's similar to me. She's a big traveller. She loves travelling, and New York is one of her favourite places. And the 9/11 documentary starts on the top of the Twin Towers, so you can see the whole of New York stretching out in front of her. And she was just blown away. She's just blown away. And then she did a bit of Les Mills body combat, and she was amazed. And the great thing about Les Mills body combat is you've got the controllers in your hands and they're boxing gloves, and you don't have to press any buttons. You don't have to be told what to do. You just punch and duck. And she was like, "Oh, right, okay." And me and her used to go to boxercise, so she knows how to throw a punch, and she knows how to sidestep. She knows how to stick and twist and turn. And within 30 seconds, she was in it. And it's like, when years and years ago, we went to see the Lord of the Rings, the first one, the Fellowship of the Ring, and she'd never read the books, and I was a big fan, so I didn't know how she would take it. And there was a point in the film where she was just like, "Oh my God, that's amazing!" And I thought, "Yeah, I've got you." And she did exactly the same thing when she was playing VR. She was stood on top of the Twin Towers, and she just went, "That's amazing." So there you go. My wife is now into VR, so she will be doing exercise, Les Mills Body Combat. I'm going to try her on Beat Saber, and then looks like I'm going to have to buy another Quest headset.
Yep. On the plus side, if you sort it out right, you can do the app share feature and not have to buy any excess.
Exactly. Henry Van Leer said, "You would have bought pink one and motion sickness on your wife." No, she didn't suffer any motion sickness. But
that's surprising. That's very surprising.
Yeah. Some people don't.
No, and I highly envy them. Because I still get tiny bits every now and again. I kind of like that.
Yeah. I was sent a key for a video game by the developer, and they were quite sort of friendly, and I played the game, and I had to email them and say, I'm not going to mention the game because I don't want to disparage it.
Yeah.
I mean, bearing in mind, I've got hugely strong VR legs. I don't get motion sickness at all. As soon as I started playing this game, it had a mechanic where there was no gravity, so you could move onto the ceiling, so you could just basically move onto the ceiling. But the way it did it was, it didn't teleport you to the ceiling. You pointed where you wanted to go, you clicked a button, and then you moved to that point.
Oh, and that sounds awesome, though.
The rotation of the room just made me feel sick, and I had to email them back and say, "Look, I'm really sorry. I can't review your game because I got motion sickness." And that's the one time in this 6 years I've been playing video games in VR that I'd actually got motion sickness. Anyway, yeah, sorry. We've talked about links.
We've gone off topic. Let's jump back into.
You want to go to GDC?
Talking about. Yeah, so we're talking about the Lynx R1. I'm not certain about this one. I love the idea. I want to try it. I'm not gonna buy it.
Right, hold on. Sorry, second. Fun with Clicks has just said, "Oh shit, Mac! I think that the game I just mentioned."
Oh, Labyrinth Maze.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't that game, mate. That wasn't that one. It was a game that hasn't actually released yet. So, all right. Sorry, Shooey. Carry on.
Yeah. No. Right. So, the R1, the Lynx R1. I love the idea of it. I watched about an hour's worth of different takes on it, but all of them, if you search YouTube for the Lynx R1, everything is a minimum of 4 months old. Despite the fact we've just had GDC,
all right, okay.
There's nothing on YouTube if you search Lynx R1 that comes up with anything from GDC. Everything is stuff that has been on Twitter, TikTok, a few other little bits and bobs like that, but no brand new videos on it on YouTube, which is a bit disappointing.
It is.
Hello,
James Davis 911. He's just joined us.
Yeah, hey, dude.
Yeah, I think Tyriel Wood did a video as well, didn't he? I think they invited a lot of big YouTubers to come and have a look at it.
Well, Nathy did a video on it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who. Oh, I watched Adam Savage's Tested. They did a video on it.
Okay, yeah.
Because the guy happened to be in town, I think, and just stopped by their workshop.
I think Tyriel Wood did one as well. Yeah, and then it all went quiet, which sometimes happens with Kickstarters.
But it did well. Like the Kickstarter did well, and the technology is great. In fact, the one thing about it that I really, really love is the lenses. Have you seen the lenses and how they work?
Right, you'll have to remind me. It's been 4 months since I watched the video.
Okay, so the lenses are kind of genius because they're not using traditional lenses in any way, shape, or form. They're not using Fresnel lenses in any way, shape, or form. Okay. They are using prism lenses.
Oh,
and
right,
what that means is that they actually on the projector behind the lens, they actually put on there 4 separate images, right?
Okay.
Which means that they're getting 4 times the pixel density in the same space.
Right.
And then all of this, if you look at the lens, it's about that thick, and it looks weird as shit. Like you look at it and you're just like, how the hell does that actually put an image through it? Yeah. But because of the mirrors along the outside of it, it focuses all of these 4 images into one image on your eye. And that's pretty damn cool.
Yeah, that went straight past me. I didn't realize that. I probably read it, but like I said, I've got the memory retention of a goldfish, so
yeah. If you go away and look at the Adam Savage's tested video on it, they actually have one of the lenses pulled out that you can see properly.
Cool.
And it is really interesting stuff. Like I would love to see more innovative stuff like this. But at the end of the day, we're going to be getting the new pancake lenses soon, along with the new micro OLED.
If you say micro OLED 3 times, sadly it's Bradley appears in the chat.
You say that, but I
micro OLED, micro OLED. Oh, look, there he is.
But yeah, so we're gonna have these soon. So although the lens idea is a really, really cool one, I'm not certain it's going to be a mainstay of VR for very long.
Yeah. Okay. That it's a Quest 2's just taken over. Sorry, Oculus and Meta headsets have just gone over 60% on Steam VR. And unfortunately, it's too much of a juggernaut to stop. They are dominating the space.
But what is the other piece of news that is essentially the competitor to the Oculus Quest 2?
So, yeah. Are we talking about the Pico Neo, or are we talking about something else?
No. I was talking about the PSVR 2.
Oh, of course.
We had some interesting... Like, Sony didn't do a big thing at GDC. They decided not to do one at all.
Yeah.
But during the Unity presentation, they did give certain pieces of key information.
Yes.
And this has got me excited. I have 2 numbers here.
Oh, yes.
The first number is 3.6.
Yes.
And the second number is 2.5.
Yes.
Now, the big thing that both me and Mac are hugely excited about PSVR 2 is foveated rendering.
Oh,
now we've mentioned it in previous episodes, and I'm going to very briefly go over it again. Foveated rendering is the ability for the headset to see where your pupils are, what you're looking at, and then do things according to that. So, for instance, you wouldn't need to click on a menu item. You can just look at the menu item. That is the basics. But what you can also do is you can separate up the screen. So, for instance, this bit of the screen that you guys are looking at, maybe that's the bit you're looking at right now, and we could render that at 90 to 120 frames a second. Happy days, it looks beautiful. And we could render that at, say, 4K. Oh, amazing. My face at 4K, 120 frames, absolutely wonderful. And everything else, we're just going to render at, say, 30 frames per second, and we're going to drop the resolution down to, say, 1920, right? Happy days. Because if you notice when you're focusing on something, everything else, who gives a shit? It's just in the side. No one cares about the bit at the top or the sides or the bottom. They just care about the words they're reading in front of them. And foveated rendering, therefore, means that you can spend all of your GPU or most of your GPU on this little bit and ignore the rest. You can just put a little bit of GPU and CPU into this, which means that you can actually get a hell of a big performance boost. And that performance boost in this particular case is, Mac?
3.6.
3.6 times.
Yeah.
3.6 times.
3.6 times.
The power, essentially.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about here. That's with eye tracking. And because foveated rendering and the way they're also going to do it, they have said that if the developers aren't able to get that working 100%, then the minimum they're going to get from using very basic foveated rendering without eye tracking is still going to be 2.5 times.
Yeah. So there's a company called Toby who do the eye tracking, and I think that PlayStation are partnering with Toby, I think, to do the eye tracking. I don't know that one. Somebody correct me in the chat if not. If you go to the Toby website, there's like, if you don't understand what foveated rendering is, there's 2 demos. There's one where you're looking around a scenery, and like this bit here is in 4K and everything else is blurry. And so it's basically looking around a mountain. Right? That's the first demo. That explains pupil tracking and how Toby works out where your eyes are looking. The second demo is like it looks like a bit sort of what's that game with the nano suit? Incredibly difficult to run. Crisis. Crisis, yeah. So the second demo looks like Crisis, but they've got foveated rendering on, and they've got it smack bang in the middle, and your GPU stress was reduced by 65%, up to 90% at some points. And so basically what you're looking at, so combined with the eye tracking and then this foveated rendering, they were rendering at 4K, and it was reducing the stress on your GPU by 65 to 95%, which means that somebody who maybe doesn't have a 2080 Ti or a 3080 Ti, somebody's maybe running a 1080 or a 970, could still run the game at this incredible, using foveated rendering at this incredible sort of resolution. So that's why I'm so excited about PlayStation VR, because the PlayStation VR is a powerful machine. There's no getting away from that. It's a powerful machine, but with foveated rendering and PSVR 2 and eye tracking, wow.
I have a question.
Oh, I usually get caught out here, don't I?
I'm being caught out by my own brain.
Okay.
Okay, we've got a few other creators in the chat.
We have?
What does foveated rendering mean for us?
Oh, shit.
Yeah. For those of you who haven't caught on, I'm sure you have, but I'm just going to say it anyway. For those of you who haven't caught on, if foveated rendering is only rendering this bit here and is essentially not rendering very much around here, what does that mean for our videos?
Yeah. So I don't have PSVR. I don't have a PlayStation. So how do content creators who make content about PSVR, how do they do that? Because
capture card.
Right, okay, because the Xbox was quite a closed system, and you had to use the internal systems to capture video games.
Yeah, because it was using the Microsoft G service, wasn't it?
Right, okay, so Weebles just posted up there, Toby are in negotiations with Sony as of February 22nd. Yeah, I think I read that in Upload VR somewhere. Yeah, I thought it was Toby that they were talking to. Right, so what I'm guessing is it's going to be the same as the Quest 2, because if you record Quest 2 video, it records in 1 by 1 at 30 frames per second, which isn't ideal. And we're also going to talk about this a bit later on, because it's...
Yeah.
Okay, that's another subject. It's not ideal, but yeah, it does work. So I'm guessing that the PlayStation are going to allow you to record maybe your left or right eye in 16:9 at maybe 1080p.
Yeah,
30
but
frames per second.
what I'm asking, but that means that they're going to have to be producing. Oh, here you go. Paradise Decay has answered the question. I use a capture USB VR, right?
Hey,
Which
Paradise.
is what I said, which is great.
Yeah.
Hey, PD. Thanks for joining, man.
Yeah, Henry Van Leer said Elgato capture card as well.
Yeah, so that's all very well and good still, but what it means is that in order to record anything, the PlayStation and any other foveated rendering headset is going to have to produce separate frames for us to record.
Right, no. Okay, this has already been done because the Vario Aero has eye tracking. And if you watched Thrill Seeker's video about the Vario Aero, he just recorded it on OBS and it was fine. And the Vario Aero has eye tracking.
Does Vario Aero do foveated rendering?
That's
because this is
fucking
yeah,
good
no,
question.
I genuinely want to know the fucking answer to this now. We need to speak to some people because this may actually be an issue for us in a year's time.
No, I've actually just written it down. Yeah, that's absolutely right. I think the best
I think we need to actually speak to some people about this.
Yeah, we can tweet. I can DM Thrill Seeker.
I mean, Bradley is probably going to be an interesting person to talk to about this. He could probably answer our question better than anyone.
Yeah. I've actually DM'd Thrill Seeker directly before, and he has actually responded to me. So I might try that. I've just got to take a quick toilet break.
I'll tell you what. How about Mac? How about we take a 5-minute actual break?
Okay.
Because I could also do with going out, and it saves us having to vamp and talk rubbish. So let's take an actual 5-minute pause, guys. We will be back. Oh God damn it! I am not used to this beer. We will be back in a few minutes.
We will. I'm just going to answer Fun with Clicks question before we go. Isn't Oculus making the recording better in a future update? That is the next subject we're going to talk about after the break. Here's a word from our sponsors. We are back. Okay.
We are back.
We are back. Right, so, old man sorted. Shooey's had a cigarette. He's happy.
Yeah, I'm happy. So, before we move on to that subject, there was a couple of other smaller bits that we wanted to talk about when it came to GDC.
Yeah.
These are going to be the game side of things. Mac, would you like to start us off?
Did you play Moss Book 1?
I did.
And what did you think of it?
I loved it.
Yeah, I did too. I thought it was old school platform puzzler with like a sort of god hand, just done so well. It's a PSVR exclusive at the moment, but
Book 1 isn't, is it?
oh no,
That's
sorry. Yeah, we're talking about Book 2.
Yes.
So at GDC, the studio co-founder Chris Alderson got interviewed by Upload VR, and he said he wants to bring Book 2 to Quest and PC VR as soon as he possibly can. I think it was a PSVR timed exclusive, the first one, I believe.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. So I'm guessing 6 months, unless they can sort of twist Sony's arm.
I doubt they'll be able to twist Sony's arm.
No, because Sony are a big company. I don't know whether the developers are actually owned. Are they owned by Sony?
I don't think they're owned by Sony,
Right, okay.
if I remember correctly. But I cannot wait to see this come to other platforms. Whether it be Steam or Quest, I'm good either way. The thing is, unless you're being paid an incredible amount, why would you sign an exclusivity deal for a game that everybody wants to play?
Yeah. Yeah. So the very first game I ever played in VR after Lone Echo was Lucky's Tale, which actually just released for the Quest 2, I think, within the last couple of months, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
Yeah, and that was a great game. It was very, very sort of Mario-esque, very sort of Banjo-Kazooie, but Moss is something different because you have the God Hand, where you can actually help, and I think they've gone more. I think what Chris Alderson said was that they've gone more for the God Hand because that's what the fans wanted. So you are going to be more involved in the puzzling. Obviously you control Moss, but you are going to be more in control of the puzzling. So yeah, it's from what I've seen, I'm so excited. I
just want to play with Quill again.
Yeah.
I love that little mouse so much.
And when he got killed, you were just like, oh, I'm sorry,
God,
Quill.
It was heartbreaking.
It was.
Have you seen the exclusive models for it that have been coming out?
No, I haven't. No. Or they're sort of figurines or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
So but they are so exclusive. Like, there are so few of them, and you have to have, like, most of them are being given out in competitions, but you have to have a PlayStation account in order to do it, in order to wishlist it. And I was just like, I will pay people for that model because I want that model. I don't have PlayStation. I'm less likely to win it. But if any of you get your hands on one of those models, hit me up, get in touch. I will pay you actual cash money for that model.
I'll go one better. I'll pay you in Bitcoin.
I won't pay you in Bitcoin.
I'll pay you in Bitcoin, and then in a year's time, I'll have paid you 10 times over. I guarantee it. Don't buy Bitcoin. Polyarch, right. Okay, so hold on. We said we are back, and we made James Davis shit himself. Crash says that's... I didn't have to go for a pee. It's not because you're old, Max, because you're drinking. Yep, you got me there, mate. Yeah, okay, we're up to date with the chat. Okay, Moss. Oh,
cool.
Man.
Yeah, so
Right.
that was one of them, and I am a big fan of that coming to Quest or Steam. Either one I'm happy with. The other really interesting thing was them talking about the Walkabout Mini Golf.
Yeah.
And for those of you who, like me, and I'm going to bet Mac as well, he didn't grow up with it necessarily, but he did go through the time it was around. They are releasing a Labyrinth sort of, I'm assuming, a DLC pack, and I'm not unhappy to pay for that. If it's anything like their recent stuff, if it's £2.50, £2.49 Great British pounds, sign me the fuck up.
Yeah,
I will pay that twice over, because I love Walkabout Mini Golf, and the fact that they've signed a huge deal with the Jim Henson Company just goes to show how amazing Walkabout Mini Golf must be doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely agree. So anybody that's not aware of who Jim Henson is, he's the guy who did Sesame Street and the Muppets. And back in the 80s, he made a film using animatronics and David Bowie. And it's just one of those childhood films that is just... It still stands up today.
Just throwing it out there, he did also do Farscape. Oh, he looks puzzled. Farscape was a sci-fi series.
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah, and several of the characters are Jim Henson models.
What?
So you had Pilot, who was the pilot of Moya. He was a Jim Henson model, puppet. And so was Rigel, the tiny little floating guy.
Yeah, do you know, Farscape rings a bell. I've watched it. I can't remember anything about it.
Anyway, yeah. So
anyway, yeah.
I just wanted to point that out because they were amazing puppets.
They were. So this might not be relevant to people who have never watched Labyrinth. If you've never watched Labyrinth, go and watch Labyrinth, because it's just...
Go and watch Labyrinth.
Oh, it's a great film. It's a great film. And at the time, it was revolutionary, wasn't it? It was...
Yeah.
It was amazing. Yeah. So anyway, a young girl... Oh, I can't remember the story. The young girl ends up in the labyrinth. She's trying to save her brother.
So her younger brother, the little baby brother, she's in her sort of late teens, sort of mid to late teens. Her baby brother has been born, and she always gets lumbered with babysitting him. And she wishes he would just go away. And so the Goblin King, played by David Bowie, comes and steals the baby, or comes and takes the baby as per her wishes, and takes him to the labyrinth, where she then has to go in order to save her brother, realizing that she doesn't really want... Oh, yeah, and fuck me, the Dark Crystal was Jim Henson as well.
Oh, of course the Dark... Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. So, yeah, she then goes to the labyrinth, solves several puzzles in order to get through it, and eventually manages to save the day.
And the teenage girl was that beauty... Sorry, I'm trying to... That is Jennifer Connelly. I've got a massive man crush on Jennifer Connelly. She's so beautiful.
I was growing up with a crush on her.
Yeah, I can imagine the kind of growing that happened when you were thinking about Jennifer Connelly.
Behave, you
slag. Oh, I've got all weird. Right.
Anyway,
cities.
I am so happy the fact, I've never been given the opportunity to be inside the labyrinth, right? So even if it is golf-based, which I love anyway, mini golf in its entirety, I'm a big fan of. In fact, me and my wife are hugely competitive when it comes to that particular sport.
And you're not competitive at all in Walkabout either, are you?
No. When I'm on my own, I am the chillest, most relaxed person ever.
You fucking competitive wanker.
But here's the thing, right? I'm going to get to be in the labyrinth.
Yeah.
And that excites me so much. If they have any of the original voicing for it, I'm going to be so blown away.
There's got to be a hole.
There are Sorry, I'll say I really hope that the characters actually move around and talk to you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. If not, it's a waste. And there's got to be a level where David Bowie stood on the ceiling and you've got to try and put past him or something. When Jennifer Connelly's sat and he walks he walks around the roof above her. Oh man, I'm so excited.
I wonder if they're going to get any of the original soundtrack. I wonder if they're actually able to do that.
Oh no, it's a collaboration. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, but what I'm thinking is that soundtrack isn't just owned by the Jim Henson Company. It is owned by David Bowie.
He's dead.
Yeah, I know he's dead, but the royalties still go somewhere.
His estate, yeah. Well, no, I mean, if you're sitting there and you're in charge of David Bowie's estate, and somebody comes to you and says, "We're going to make a video game about Labyrinth. Can we use your thing and we'll pay you this much?" You're going to go, "Yeah."
Yeah, but this is the thing that I'm wondering. This is why I said it's such a big collaboration. Because this is the equivalent on a slightly different scale. This is the equivalent of having a Matrix game for the VR, like an actual branded
Matrix game.
You are Neo in the Matrix. Like this is that level of stuff we're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm thinking this is the full ish, and they have to have the music because, like, one of the lovely things about Walkabout Golf is that lovely chintzy sort of stuff going on. But yeah, exactly. And how can such a beautiful game be so vicious? Because it is vicious. Oh, Clueless Dad Gamer, Jennifer Connelly. Yeah. Woo.
Stephen Whitehead. Yes, he did get his Facebook account sorted.
Yes, I did. And my Quest is back. My Facebook is back.
Go and check out Mac's video on it, actually, on the exact reasoning as to why he got banned when he finally found out. Because, if anything, it's a good laugh.
Yeah. So, basically...
Even though it's a true ending to a very, very depressing time.
So anybody that doesn't know, and I'm sure that most people do, I'm just talking to Stephen here, is that I retired from the fire brigade on the second day of my new life as a content creator. I got banned by Facebook. No, sorry, I didn't get banned by Facebook. My account was disabled. And it's all because a friend of mine posted a picture of a a Nissan GTR. And I said, "Oh, kidney for sale." And that's actually what got me banned. That kidney for sale got me banned and disabled my account. Stopped me from using my Quest 2 for 3 weeks and basically caused me a load of stress, like unbelievable amounts of stress. I'm so angry. I'm so angry at Facebook, but I just keep smiling because I'm a positive person. My glass is... Oh, actually, it's really empty. Oh.
I'm sure there's another bottle there somewhere.
No.
No.
Why would you say that?
That doesn't look like it has a gadget in it.
Oh, look, we seem to have refilled. Right, okay. There's one more game I want to talk about from GDC.
Yep.
It's Cities VR.
Yes.
Wow. That looks so good. And the name of the game I was going to compare it to went out of my head as soon as I said that.
I mean, Cities VR is. Are you thinking of a similar VR game, or are you thinking of
SimCity? There you go.
I mean, Cities VR is Cities Skylines.
Right. Okay.
Would be the correct comparison because it is literally a VR port that's been made properly for VR.
Okay.
Because City Skylines was the existing IP anyway for flat pancake games.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was like a VR take on SimCity.
No. City Skylines was an already existing IP.
Oh, okay, right. Okay, you got me there. Oh, nice.
This was the problem, right? So we saw in December that... No, not just. I think it might have been before December. We saw a game being showcased on the Upload VR showcase called Little Cities. And that was essentially City Skylines in VR, and I was really excited for it. And they were a really small development team from the UK. In fact, I think it's a couple that are actually developing this. And I was like,
okay.
oh, that looks like City Skylines. This is going to be really good. And then less than 4 weeks later, they show us City Skylines VR.
Right.
And that was, I felt so bad for the development team of Little Cities.
Oh, they're not right. I got confused here because I thought that was the same game.
No,
Oh,
this is a whole.
wow.
These are two separate
Wow.
devs. These are two separate games.
I hence the confusion. Right, okay. Bloody hell.
Yeah. Yeah, so within like 8 weeks, I go from being really excited about this Cities game to being really worried for this tiny little dev team that have created something that is great, but isn't quite as in-depth as City Skylines.
Right.
And the way I described it, I think, on TikTok was that if you want something that's going to be really chilled out and just fun, then look at Little Cities. But if you want something that's going to be really in depth and just like the PC Pancake version, look at Cities VR.
Oh, right. Okay. Wow. I didn't realize that. No, therein lies the confusion. My God. Anyway, I'm really
Rizzo, yeah, you might be right. It might be End Dreams.
Yeah. Oh, End Dreams. They did Phantom Covert Ops.
Yeah.
And that was a fucking good game. If you haven't played Phantom Covert Ops, it'd probably be on sale because it's been out for a couple of years. Go and play that. You can play it seated.
It's never on sale because I haven't managed to buy it yet. It's never on sale.
Such a good game. I'd loved that game. I did so many videos about that. I loved it.
Anyway, so we are done with GDC then. What we're moving over to? We're moving over to the subject that we promised, which was the tweet from Nathy.
Yes, we are. Right, okay. I've got it here.
Because he originally had a tweet in January, didn't he?
Yeah. So what happened was Quest basically tweeted out, what can we do to improve our
platform.
Our platform, yes. Sorry. Fucking brain gone. So Nathy said, these are the exact words he said: appreciate you listening to us. Hope this will be priority soon, as we have been asking for this many years. We have to give... Oh, sorry. I'll scroll up. Yeah, basically Nathy said YouTube content creators and streamers need tools. Because if you're doing streaming and content creation on PC, it's so easy. You've got OVR, so you can have your chat window attached to your hand. So when you're streaming, you can be playing the game. You can look at your chat, which is like attached to your hand, and it's using OBS. It's basically seamless. Quest, it's like fucking pulling teeth, mind, and you'll obviously agree with me about that.
Yes. Yeah, no, it's a massive pain in the arse. Like, I have a choice when I am recording on Quest, right? There seems to be two and a half, maybe 3 schools of thought when it comes to recording directly on the Quest headset. One is that what people do, so people like, what's a good example of this?
BMF.
Bido Benjo and BMF VR. What they do is that most of their screen is taken up by the video footage, and then they have a small strip for the name of the game, and then below that they have their green screen footage of them, right? Yeah. And that seems to be, and they sort of have a line, and they have a line here. I've done similar things in the past.
I have as well.
Exactly the same thing. And that's because the 1:1 aspect ratio at 30 frames is what you get, right? The other one is that you zoom in and you just make it big. The problem is that you lose a lot of the bottom and a lot of the top. And for some games, that doesn't matter. It literally wouldn't make a blind bit of difference. But for a few games where you're having to look at inventories that are on your torso, for instance, or if you look at your arm and you suddenly, you look at it way too low, you might miss out on that. And you might have to either move the video as you're editing. And that's a problem. That's a huge amount of ball ache. The third option, which is sort of the 0.5, because most people probably aren't going to do this,
Yeah.
is that you can use either ADB commands or something like SideQuest in order to change the aspect ratio to 16:9. But what this actually does isn't record at 16:9. It automatically changes the 1:1 into the 16:9, and you're still stuck at 30 frames a second essentially, and it's still not great. So yeah, we do need something better.
There is an option as well that you can cast to your PC using the.
Oh, I'd forgotten about this one. Yes.
Yeah, that's fine. It's okay. So you can cast to. So this sounds like first world problems, but if you're trying to push VR, then people who stream and people who YouTube are the guys who are going to, like, people like Shooey and people like me are the guys who are going to promote your games, promote your headset, promote, the people want to see what it's like to play a game in VR. So
there's a reason they send us keys.
Yes, there is. Yeah, because they want us to fucking advertise their shit. So yeah, you can cast directly to your PC on a web browser, and then using OBS you can record. So when you do that, you have to go unmute everything, because for some reason standard it mutes everything. Why? Fucking brainless. And then you have the option to make it full screen, so it would cast in 1:1, and you can make it 16:9. And then obviously what Shooey said there is that you obviously lose some detail in that. And doing that, I can do my usual thing where I have like my frame and have my background and have me on OBS, so you can see what I'm doing in real time. But the problem is it artifacts like fuck. As soon as anything happens that's like an onward, as soon as you get into a firefight, it starts to artifact. So people watching your screen are going to think, well, that looks a bit shit. Is that what he's seeing? So you have to kind of say at the beginning of every single video, if you see any artifacts, it's just a recording. It's not what I'm actually seeing. And and you can't have a chat window. So if I was streaming, like there, Clueless Dad Gamers there just posted up, I think I got restless during retirement. I would have to take my headset off and look at my chat window while I was streaming, because there's no option to have your chat window while you're streaming on Quest 2, and it's fucking ludicrous. It's
the best way round that I have found. This is literally the best way I've found, is you as a person playing get a worse experience because of it. But if you have a wireless Bluetooth earbud in one ear, you can attach that to your PC and you can set it up so that it does do text to speech, which both me and Mac both use for our streams.
We do.
But you therefore lose half of your audio. You no longer have a surround sound experience because you're trying to listen to your chat, and that is kind of shit.
And if you're playing Onward, you are going to die very rapidly, because the 3D audio in Onward is how you stay alive, because you can hear footprints, you can hear footsteps, you can hear chat, you can hear people shooting, and it's just not good enough. So what they need to do is they need to have a way of casting or recording to OBS in a full 16:9 window of like whichever eye, make sure people can choose. And you need to have an app where you can look at your chat window while you're streaming, and that's what I want. Maybe
so I just want to reply to Fun with the Click. So he said, I downloaded a batch file from BMF that enables widescreen and high FPS when recording straight from the Quest. That batch file basically does exactly what we said. It's an ADB command structure that instructs it in order to do something, and it's the same thing that SideQuest also does.
Basically,
unfortunately, it doesn't do exactly what we want as content creators.
So if if I'm recording, like, so for example, I'm doing a video about Wi-Fi at the moment, and I'm basically, all I need to do is record onto the Quest headset, and that's fine. I can download the footage, I can put it into my video, that's great. But if I want to stream, then I have to go into SideQuest, I have to put it to 1080 full screen, cast to whatever, goes through OBS, it artifacts like crazy, and it just does not look good. And if somebody's watching it, we're going, well, is that what he's seeing? That's not very good. Ooh, I'm not very pleased about that. So how do you think they're going to get around the problem?
I honestly don't know, because I don't know if this is a Quest thing as a whole or whether it's just mine, right? But when I record with Quest and I then jump into, like, I go to the menu when I finished recording and I try and click off, for instance, I do get juttering, right? That's how much it's using that it doesn't want to use. And that's not even playing like high intensity games or not high intensity games, like high graphics games.
Yeah.
Like I was playing Knock earlier today and it was causing issues with my gameplay because of it, just the recording of it.
I still
so
haven't
I
got
don't know
Knock.
how they're going to make that better. Yeah, you need to get Knock, man.
I know.
I'm not sure it's going to be your game, but if you want something that's competitive, oh man, the community is torn between amazing and salty as fuck, and it is hilarious. I met a guy, right? This is my favorite story of the week. Okay, I've got to tell you quickly. So I jump on and I always say hello to everybody that I am playing with. I'm always like, yo, dude, how's it going? Are you having a good day? Right? Because
That's just you.
Yeah. You get a 3-second window at the beginning of the game. And I'm just like, yo, how's it going? And like, they'll either usually go, yeah, man, it's great. I'm having a great time. Or they'll just say nothing and they don't have their microphone on. Fine. I've got no problem with that. If you don't want your microphone on, not an issue with me. We'll play, but I just won't talk to you. And that's fine. But this guy, he goes, aren't you the guy from TikTok? And I'm just like, oh, someone's recognized me.
Which is the greatest thing in the world.
And he's just like, yeah, you're the guy that does VR reviews on TikTok, right? And I'm like, yes, I'm so happy someone has recognized me in game. It's like when we see like gamer tag or something on Population 1, you know, and you're just like, dude, how's it going?
And then we hunted the fucker down and killed him.
And then we hunt the fucker down and kill the shit out of him. But anyway, so
no, we
guy,
did that.
Right,
we did that. Sorry.
Yeah, we actually did that last week.
I'm so sorry, gamer tag.
Just as he was about to go streaming as well.
I know.
Anyway, so this guy's recognized me and he's just like, oh man, that's so cool. And like the thing is the time has already gone and the ball's just sitting in the middle of the court. Neither of us have touched it because we're both just like, yeah, dude, I'm that guy. And he's like, oh, you're that guy. And I'm just like, right, okay, let's play. And he's just like, okay, you know, take the shot. I'm like, no, you go first. You take the first shot. That's fine. I'm perfectly happy with that. And he didn't. I was like, fuck this. I'm just going to go. I am not the best Knock player. I'm not the worst. I would say that I am easily average. Okay, I get absolutely smashed by the top guys, and I absolutely annihilate the bottom guys. That's where I am. I sit in the middle. This guy, I smashed the fuck out of.
Oh, and he was like, you dick.
And after 1 minute and 14 seconds, he didn't even say goodbye. He just left. That, in my opinion, is just shit. Why be shit about it? Why just leave? The thing is the very next game I played a guy and I'm just like, dude, hey, how's it going? And he's like, yeah, it's going great. And he was talking smack and whatnot, and he fucking annihilated me.
But you stayed.
And every single time I'm just like, that's awesome, dude. That was a great goal. That was a great move. That was a great block. And he's just like, dude, why are you so happy about this? And I'm just like, because I'm either going to beat you or I'm going to learn something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Wow. Yeah.
Anyway, that's my Knock story of the week.
Oh, you can go fuck yourself. I haven't got knock yet. Fucking hell.
I will buy you knock if you're not going to get it, man.
Is it
that we
out?
can
I
play.
thought it was still on.
It's been out. It's been out for 2 weeks.
I'm such a knob. Right. Fuck me. So going back to Nathy, with this sort of streamer stuff. So Nathy on March 21st tweeted, "What's the status on this creative Clo? We can't wait to get our hands on the new tools." So Clarama, this girl who works for them, says, "Our team can't wait to put on your hands too. Feedback has been really positive from the creators who've seen designs. We're shooting for a May public launch, accounting for privacy security reviews, but chances are high for April." So streamers and content creators like us are going to get these new tools in April. So what do you want?
I'll tell you what I want and that I'm not going to get.
Okay.
I want 16 by 9, 60 FPS. That's
Yes.
all I want, right? Give me that fucking ability. Like I'm playing the games at 90 FPS.
Yes.
So give me 60 and 16 by 9. How you're going to do that, I have no idea. Meta, how you are going to achieve that, I have no idea, because at the moment it struggles with 1 to 130 FPS.
Yeah, it does. It does. And even if you
I
use
have a
side quest to pump it up to 1080 or 60 frames per second, it then artifacts like fuck. So
exactly. So what I have a feeling is that they are going to give us they're going to give us what we can already achieve. They're going to give us 1080, 60 FPS, and it's going to be bad.
it's gonna be like the streaming. Yeah. Okay. So
That's my bet. That's my bet.
all right. Okay. So what if they're not going to do that? What if they're going to do something like give you the ability to cast via Bluetooth to a PC?
Oh, no. I don't want that. I do not want an extra stream running. Like, so
Would you record? So would you prefer to record direct to headset, or would you prefer to cast to PC?
so here's the problem, right?
I know.
From a hardware perspective, you're either going to be utilizing resources. Either way, you're going to be utilizing resources. One resource is you're going to be utilizing the original storage, right? And if it's not pulling anything from the original storage and it's got everything loaded into the RAM, then that's not a huge problem. But let's face it, most games aren't going to be like that. Like Knock, you're basically going to load everything into the RAM to begin with because it's a small game, and that's not going to be a problem. But when you move on to anything where it has to load in a new level, or it tries to pull things from the horizon and has to load in new assets, that becomes a real issue. So in that respect, you do want to be loading directly to an external device. But the chips inside the Quest 2 aren't really designed for that.
No. So they've got John Carmack, and he's very fucking clever. Is there any solution you can see where he could do? The ideal thing would be to record direct to the headset.
This has just popped into my head, okay? This isn't something I've thought about in great depth. The only thing I can see them doing that is going to make it absolutely, like, it's going to work really, really well is going to be via a link cable. Just because then you get the throughput.
But then why not just use virtual desktop or something like that? Or Airlink. Oh, Airlink.
Yeah, but the problem, the Airlink software only works one way. It doesn't work the other way.
Okay.
Same with virtual desktop. It only works one way.
Yeah.
So it's displaying to the headset. It's not taking information from the headset other than input commands.
We're just gonna have to wait, aren't we? So
yeah, no, this is purely a guessing game at this point.
It is. Yeah. Sorry, people. We went off on a tangent there. Right. Man the fuck up and talk to me about Manus. Look at his face.
Okay, so as some of you will know, anything to do with haptics, even though I am very restricted with the haptics that I own, mainly because I am poor, I am extremely excited about, because I want to be immersed as much as possible in my games, and I want to be able to do weird and wonderful shit because of those haptics. So, for instance, B Haptics have their vests, and that's pretty fucking awesome. You know, the fact that the arrow in Population 1 no longer really matters to you because you can literally feel where that shot came from. That's a cool thing, right? That adds a lot to your gameplay, even if they are $400 or $500. So when they announced that there was going to be these tact gloves, which once again are a haptic thing for your fingers, essentially in the form of gloves, so that you can feel stuff happening through your hands, that's pretty cool. So, GDC, Manus announced their gloves. Now, they have been producing haptic or different types of gloves for the VR industry and AR industry for many years now. So that doesn't surprise me that they showed off something. What did surprise me is that they are looking to actually make these consumer affordable. So what the Manus gloves do is that you have a thing on the back of your hand, right? This creates this magnetically attaches, and it creates a magnetic field around your entire hand. And on each of your fingertips, you have these little covers, right? For the sake of argument, let's call them thimbles. They sit on top of each one of your fingers, and they recognize the magnetic field coming from the device. And that is how it measures and calibrates your hand. The rest of the software actually scales down a system of bones directly into your fingers, which means that no matter what you do, right, if you have the ability, sorry, I'm trying to get this on the screen, right? If you have the ability to bend your fingers like this, it will show you exactly that bend. If you have the ability to do like this, it will show you exactly those movements. And that is huge, right? That is a big difference when you're actually holding an object, because at the moment, the only things we've been seeing is the ability to stop your fingers from moving, but it doesn't calibrate to how big your hand is. Now, if you go and check out the Manus developer interview type thing from GDC, you'll see some pretty amazing shit on screen. The thing is, it doesn't show you that these things actually have 6-DoF ability. They do have 6-DoF, but it doesn't show you in the demo because it's mainly interested in your fingers. So when you see the arm going in all sorts of weird and wonderful ways, ignore that. They do have the ability to sync up to what do you call them? For the index, the
base stations.
The base stations, yeah. For some reason, I was thinking lighthouses. I don't know
Lighthouse
why.
2.0. I've got Lighthouse 2.0. Yeah.
Yeah, so they have the ability to sync up to those so that you do have full 6-DoF with them as well. But this is a big step. This is the ability for you to do really fine motor control. This is, if they introduce this, because we obviously have hand tracking in Quest, if we have the ability, I don't think we are going to, don't get me wrong, if we have the ability to use these on a Quest, because we already have the hand tracking ability just to do the fingers, and thumbs, that is going to be some interesting stuff. What are your thoughts, Mac?
What are they called?
They're called Manus gloves.
They're called the Quantum Meta Gloves.
They're called the Manus gloves. I'm not calling them the Quantum Meta gloves.
No, dude, they are called the Quantum Meta Gloves, right? Which I thought was the best name ever. Now the tech.
I know why they're called that. I know why.
You do. That that idea about the magnet on the back of your hand, that is amazing. Because what they were saying is that basically there's a lot of problems with occlusion. So if you press your finger, if you put your finger like this and you press it, with a lot of finger tracking, your finger would go through. Yeah,
Yeah, of course.
But with the magnets, that won't happen. Because it sort of says, right, oh, he's here. And you would actually get that.
It's incredibly precise.
It is.
Isn't
It's incredibly precise. It is slightly... You could not hold a phone while wearing the Meta gloves because the radiation from the phone would affect the tracking. Right, so this is where I throw it back at you. Oh, fuck. I've just knocked my mic off. So you said to me that I would not buy a Lynx R1 because it costs £1,100.
Yeah.
So
I didn't see the price of this. I ignored it. I think if I did see it, I deleted it from my memory.
You can't get away from this. Shooey from PowerOnVR. How much do the quantum Meta gloves
I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
cost?
If I did see it, I didn't recognize it, and
Now what
I
happened
just ignored
was
it.
you saw it and you put it out of your mind.
It is fairly possible.
$9,000.
Yep.
But they're trying to get them down to a consumer price, and obviously,
How are they going to drop $9,000 to say 300? Because let's face it, that's consumer price, isn't it? 300 is the absolute maximum people are going to pay for this shit.
The Haptics X40 costs $400.
That's a whole different thing. That is like just. Although I think that this is more important, that covers your entire torso. That thing's huge.
No,
you can wear it out and about.
I want the woo woo t-shirt thing. I want the woo woo t-shirt.
Oh woo.
Oh, is it oh woo? I said it was woo woo. Woo woo. Oh woo t-shirt. I want the oh woo t-shirt with the electrics that fucking shocked me. Now,
do you know what I was thinking the other day? Just before you go on, I kind of want both. I want to wear an OO shirt with a B Haptics over the top.
Oh, just get double like.
Yeah, no, I want to be able to have the vibration while I'm also my muscles are all going. Ah!
Oh, is this to save you from going to the gym?
Yeah.
Well, like I said, Bruce Lee used to sell a muscle thingy. That was in the 70s. Yep. So, yeah. Hey, that'll probably work. All of a sudden, you can have all these...
says you can get B Haptics for $250.
B Haptics
Where
gloves.
the fuck's this? Because I will order it literally now. Can you... Rizal, jump on somewhere, either Twitter or Discord. Send me a link, buddy. I would appreciate it. Anyway.
Yeah, sorry, your quantum meta gloves are actually literally quantum meta gloves for £9,000. I mean, I love the technology. I love the difference. I love the idea about the magnets. But there's a few problems. If I pick my keys up, then everything screws. The tracking goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's you got to remember that we're the metaverse isn't here yet.
No.
It's close. It's close. We have the headsets. We have the B Haptics. We have the full body tracking. I mean, I've got Vive trackers. I've got a Pro Volver. I've got a Force Tube. I've got avatars that they listen to when you're talking and their lips move. Not quite perfect, but you know what I mean. We're getting there.
We are getting there. We are getting there. And the thing is we are going to get there, for better or for worse, for IOI or gregarious systems.
Yes.
We are going to get there.
Whose metaverse do you believe more in? Do you believe more in gregarious systems, or do you believe more in Facebook's metaverse? and meta friends and people calling themselves meta mates. And like,
oh fuck, I haven't seen that. That's disgusting.
Oh, do you know the email from Mark Zuckerberg? We have to call yourself meta mates.
I haven't not seen anything like this.
Genuine. Yeah, meta friends. There's no...
That is vomit-worthy disgusting.
Meta friends, meta mates.
So what is it then? You're going to have meta donuts and meta antelopes?
You're going to have meta...
Like everything is just going to be the same, but with the word meta in front of it.
I think it's lost the fucking plot, to be honest. I think it's lost
the
fucking plot. So what
do I believe more in? Elaborate on the question.
Okay, so James Halliday was... Okay, before the second book, you have to take into account the first book.
Ignore the second book.
So James Halliday basically created the Oasis for everybody. He said nobody controls it. You can't monetize it. You go into it, you level up. That's how you make your money, and that's how you spend your money, by going in and experiencing it. You can't go in and pay to win. That was basically the premise of the first book, wasn't it? And IOI wanted to take control, find the Easter egg, take control of the Easter egg, and fucking monetize the fuck out of that bitch, Oasis. That's what they wanted. So I think that Mark Zuckerberg has gone into it with the wrong, completely wrong, that he wants to monetize his metaverse straight away. He wants to sell you adverts. He wants to track your data. He wants to sell your data. And I distrust him massively. Also because of what happened to me 3 weeks ago. I would prefer the VR chat way of the metaverse evolving. Like crazily and randomly.
I agree with you, but let me ask you this, right? My comparison for this between the metaverse and the Oasis, okay? My comparison is, what operating system are you currently using on your PC?
Microsoft Windows 10.
You're not using Linux.
Nope. No, which is open source.
And let's face it, Linux is the open source.
Right, so what we need to do then is we need to get Gabe Newell to say, I'm going to make the metaverse. And everybody goes, because if Gabe Newell says that, then he's going to go, here are the tools, off you go. Because that's what we
need a community hub for it, don't we?
Yeah.
That's what we need. We need a community hub where people can just post their mods, their mod worlds all over the place, because people will go insane for that shit. If they're given the assets, the initial assets, simple things like a house, right? A house and a bunch of trees and a mountain or two, if people are given the basic shit, they will then find, create, modify, and incorporate other assets all into their worlds. They will recreate things like you wouldn't believe. If the fact that we have gunman contracts as a mod for Alex, the fact that we have, which is phenomenal, right?
I was literally just about to say exactly what you've just said. I think actually we're
hive minding a little bit, right? The fact that you've got gunman contracts, the fact that you've got what's that other one you played recently? Back to Rapture.
BioShock.
BioShock.
Can I just stop you there, because Tudor's Dad Gamer's just made the comment of the night. He said Zuckerberg's metaverse slaps like Will Smith.
What, like a bitch?
Oh, have you not seen what happened at the Oscars?
I've seen it. Any person, right, that gets up and carries on a set after being slapped hard, right, is a hard bastard. Chris Rock is not a hard bastard, and he instantly went back to it. Will Smith slap like a bitch.
But he slapped him instead of punching him, because if he had punched him, he could have knocked him out. He slapped him to make a point, because if somebody stood up in front of a crowd of 50,000 people and slagged my wife off, I'd have fucking kicked them in the balls. I wouldn't have fucking slapped them. I'd have put them down on the ground and they would not have got back up again.
I don't disagree with you.
Because you know,
and I'm not going to get into it heavily, but
No.
I am basically, I saw the clips from a couple of different angles, and I was just like, either he missed.
No, he didn't.
Or he was.
No, he didn't miss. He didn't miss. He slapped him. He slapped him. Do you know that? Do you know that Jada Pinkett Smith suffers from alopecia?
I do, yes.
Okay, so the comment.
And I've got a lot of. I went to uni with somebody who I love truly, and I still love to this day. And she really, really suffered emotionally with her alopecia. Yeah. And after we left uni, she actually owned the whole thing, and she does pole dancing classes now. And she's gotten rid of the wig and everything, and she embraces who she is, and that's fucking fantastic. So I have a lot of respect for people who suffer with alopecia and what they're going through. It fucking sucks.
So, you know? Yeah, one of my sister's best friends has alopecia, and she has ever since I've known her. We had a very comedic incident in a pub where I was walking past and I'm going to the bar, and I was pissed, and her hair wrapped around the button on my jacket, and I walked off with her wig. And she was like stood there going, Marcus, what? Marcus, what? Me wig. I was like, oh, fuck. And I had to go back and put the wig on her head. So do you think that Will's reaction was justified? And do you think that Chris Rock actually realised? Do you think he planned that? Do you think because if he planned that, that was fucking horrible, vicious mind. If he didn't know she had alopecia, because she obviously has a shaved head at the moment. So if he didn't know she had alopecia, was that like just a stupid comment that he made and it was out of context? Or did he know she had alopecia and he decided to say it anyway?
I don't know. The thing is Chris Rock's stand-up doesn't do anything for me at all. Right. Like he plays to a very specific audience with his stand-up, and that is sort of the black community, and that's fine. In the same way that, like, I don't know, Roy Chubby Brown does the lowest denominator for the UK.
Yeah,
you know,
you fat
doesn't do anything for me. So I don't know whether his stuff is mainly like pre-written stuff or whether he's good at off the cuff stuff. Either way, as you say, it was either brutally vicious or it was an off-the-cuff thing that he was trying to do, and it massively backfired.
It did.
As far as whether Will Smith was justified in slapping him, I am in two minds. I would rather there be repercussions that are socially pressured rather than physical violence, personally.
Okay, right. If I was in that audience and somebody assaulted my wife, I'd have done the same thing. Actually,
I don't disagree with you. I probably would do the same thing.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's justified.
I think Will was actually quite reserved, because if that had been me, I'd have kicked him in the balls. I'd have put him down so he couldn't fucking carry on. But that's just me, because I'm a really horrible person. I come across as a really nice. What I'd have done. I come across as a really nice old elderly gentleman, but when it comes to fighting and like looking after my family, no, I'm not very nice.
The other thing is, and this is something I said to my wife, because she said this to me just after dinner tonight. She goes, "Oh yeah, did you see like the Will Smith thing where he slapped Chris Rock?" And I was like, "I don't care." That's my big takeaway from it. Is it's a bunch of rich people, right, all sat round in a big rich person's place, slapping each other so hard on the back that they're all going to end up with spinal injuries. Okay,
but you are talking about Will Smith here, who is, Will Smith to me is a massive hero of mine, because he came from fucking nothing, and now he's an Oscar winner. And he also made a film about my favourite sportsman ever, Ali. And we've kind of gone off topic from VR, haven't we?
We have. Okay. But this is the thing, right? Is I love films. I love movies.
Well, so do
I'm a
I,
big
yeah.
fan of TV when it comes, especially to sci-fi and things like that. And I enjoy performances that people give. The problem is I don't give a fuck about those people. So, for instance, like one of the only actors that I give a shit about, like actual give a shit about the person, is Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. Everybody loves Keanu Reeves.
Everybody fucking loves him. That's because he's a genuinely amazing person.
He is. He's the only person I know who just went, no, my sister's ill. I'm going to fuck Hollywood off. And then when his sister was better, he came back and said, right, I'm back. And everybody went, oh, it's Keanu Reeves. It's Keanu Reeves.
He's also the only person that still lives in the real world once he's become that famous. He still rides the fucking subway.
When he did John Wick, I was so... I mean, we'd obviously seen him in The Matrix, but that was like a sort of fantasy sort of...
Yeah.
You know, game. But when he did John Wick...
His gunplay in John Wick is phenomenal.
Yeah. I watched John Wick and it was like, oh, this is Keanu Reeves. I was like, all right, okay. And you thought, fucking hell, you brutal cunt. But then you saw the training he did for it.
Yeah, no, the training is amazing.
Oh my god! And then you saw like they did the release for the videos of John Wick 3, which had what's her fucking name? She played Catwoman in the Batman films. What's her name? In John Wick 3. Come on, you can do it. Come on, in the chat. In the chat. Come on. Gorgeous Halle Berry. And you saw the training they did, like in the YouTube videos. It was unbelievable. When she was working when she was working the bag, she was doing the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and you were like, these people they're like, Halle Berry's like 50 years old, right? Can you imagine any woman you know who's in her 50s doing that shit? Like, it's absolutely incredible. Oh.
Right. I just want to point this out, right? So this is actually linked in some way to VR. Gunmen Contracts is currently the closest thing we have to John Wick in VR.
It is.
And it's not anywhere near close enough.
No, it isn't.
I want that fucking game, developers. Find me a way of giving me that game. Yeah. I want a mixture of Hitman Contracts, that level of detail. I want blade and sorcery type mechanics so that I can break people's fucking legs. I want bonework mechanics so that their entire bodies are like, if you break the knees, you break the knees. If you break an arm, it breaks the arm. I want pure, unadulterated violence available to me. And I know that sounds insane, but let's face it, most men who are in the VR industry would fucking love that.
Okay, so I'm going to slightly segue here to full body tracking. So Thrill Seeker did a video this week about a full body tracking outfit that he had. There was too many wires for me personally. I've got 5 trackers. I can do full body tracking. I can do live. Right, so going back to what you were saying. Hitman Contracts is fucking incredible. And I play it every day. The Hitman Contracts 1, Chapter 1 is kill my fire! It's fucking incredible. But it's only 15 minutes. The second chapter is a little bit longer, maybe 20, 25 minutes. And that thing where you go into you can either walk through the lobby, put your gun away, walk through the lobby, and then use your card, or you can just fucking start shooting, which is my default method of getting through that. Because it's just like walk up to the counter, headshot, drop down, headshot. Yeah, it's like living every single person who's ever watched The Matrix is fantasy. So it's by A&B Seth, yeah?
Yeah.
So you can go to his website and you can contribute to his Patreon, which I have done because what he's done is amazing. So what's chapter 3 going to be? So the whole John Wick thing about the headshot, because that's what he was really good at. We're nearly there. Put a X40 B Haptics vest on, maybe. Pro Volva.
Yeah, I still need one of them bad boys.
Yeah, Pro Volva. That is like playing that level with this is fucking unbelievable, because it's like it really is incredible. So we talked earlier about like how the developer community and is like VR chat is going to push the community forward. So Half-Life Alyx community is pushing VR, and that guy A and B Seth is at the cutting edge. And in fact, he's so cutting edge that my PC almost can't keep up with what he's doing.
Mine can't.
Yeah.
Mine can play it. Mine can play it on sort of mid to low settings, but I can't record it. My PC will not handle doing both. It's just a fact of life. At the end of the day, I'm running on a laptop, and that thing is already a fire.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it pushes my PC. I mean, I've got a 2080 Ti, which is, you know, like a sort of mid-tier sort of... Sorry, that's not me farting. That's my chair squeaking. It's like a mid-tier. Now, it used to be high-end, but now it's a mid-tier. Even that, like, struggles running A and B sets, like mod.
And I've been looking at trying to upgrade and how much it's going to cost me. And we're talking nearly $3,000.
Fuck.
Before monitors, before anything else, like just to get a reasonable PC for VR, you're talking 32 gigabytes of RAM, SSDs. You're going to need at least a 3070, but I'm looking at 3080s, and then you can do what Mac's doing, which is just show me a $300 headset, which I'm perfectly fine playing most of the time, but it doesn't play Hitman Contracts.
It doesn't. It does. If you have the PC to run it. This is why I love this thing. This is why this thing is revolutionary. This is why this thing will probably end up in the V&A Museum in London in 100 years' time, because they'll say, "Oh, do you remember this?" This is when everything changed, because this had VR, it had pass-through, not very well, but it had pass-through, and pass-through is going to be a massive thing in the future. AR pass-through, virtual reality, all in one headset that costs £400, and if you don't take into account the that
add-ons,
and that and the headphones I've got, that's an incredible piece of kit. I don't know.
I think that's a night, Mac. I think that is the final thing. It always comes down to that at the end. It's always... And then you have this $300 headset.
Yeah, it is. And it's $300. It's if you haven't got one, buy one. I mean, even after what they did to me 3 weeks ago, even after what they did to me, this is still the best. It is still the most versatile headset. It's not the best, obviously. It's still the most versatile headset in VR.
Yeah, it's no Aero, is it?
No, it isn't. But I don't have £2,000 to spend. Or more. So how much do you think the PSVR 2 is going to cost? Not taking...
I'm still sitting at the 450 mark.
Yeah. It can't be more expensive.
They might surprise us and just bring it out super cheap and just take the loss on it. Okay. You know?
Can't be more expensive than a PSVR, a PlayStation 5.
PlayStation, yeah.
So what's that, £400? $400?
$500.
Yeah, okay. Are they going to let you use it for PCVR?
Absolutely not. I'm still holding to that. They're not going to allow you to do it. There might be the ability to do it, but they're not going to allow you to do it. They want you to buy that PS5, Mac.
They do, which I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to do. This week, this next year is gonna cost me £1,000 because I have to buy a PS5.
Yeah, me too.
I have to buy a PSVR 2, and I'm not a rich person.
And you're not going to be paying what you've been used to paying in VR games. Like how much was Resident Evil 4? 30 quid?
Yeah.
How much was Walkabout Mini Golf? $7.99.
Yeah.
How much was Lone Echo 2? I genuinely don't know the answer to that.
It was £40.
Right. So we're going to go and buy a PlayStation 5. We're going to go and buy a PSVR 2 headset, and then you're going to spend £70 on each and every game.
Yeah, you are. Absolutely. Because they've got you by the fucking kahoonies.
Yeah, they already charge you 70 quid for Call of Duty. They already charge you £70 for the latest Assassin's Creed game. They're going to charge you 70 quid for a VR game.
And do you own it?
The hardware?
Do you own the game?
This is the thing: is you definitely don't if you're purchasing the non-drive version.
Exactly. You are paying. So I've realised when I got banned from Facebook that I realised
you own shit all.
I don't own fuck all. I don't own fuck all. I own my house. I own my car. And my wife is a bit transient. The dog kind of likes me. What do I actually own? I don't own that. I don't own this because Facebook can take the fucker away from me at any time they fancy it. I don't own the games because if Facebook says to me, "Oh, your account's disabled," I've lost all my games. So why are you paying £70 for like a PSVR? Well, £50 we say PSVR game, and you don't own anything. You own the headset. You own the console. It's that is maybe another subject we should discuss.
Yeah, I think that's probably one that we should discuss on the next instalment.
Yeah, definitely. Right, so
who
is still here? Who's still here? Travelling Man. Oh my God! So many people commented. Somebody's talking.
Oh
about
yeah, we've had some decent talk tonight, man.
Yeah, we have. It's been good. We've had, we've had a lot of views. Halle Berry, Halle Berry, Nicole Kidman, Michelle Pfeiffer, Thora Hurd, Mike GC, Thora Hurd. Right, okay, we've been on for
3 hours.
We've been on for nearly 3
2.5 hours.
So, we'll be back 2 weeks on Monday.
Yep.
I've been Mac In VR.
I've been PowerOnVR.
Good night.
Good night, gents
and
ladies.
We won't do the embarrassing thing. Embarrassing thing where we go, is it over? Oh, we stopped streaming. Right. Good night. Cheers, people. Thank you very much. And I'll see you tomorrow probably to pay some whatever we're going to do.
Yep. Yep.
Right. Bye.